Today I am here to talk about my feelings on Only If You're Lucky by Stacy Willingham. This review won't contain any spoilers at all. As always with my reviews, I will start off with a quick synopsis of the book before getting into my actual thoughts and feelings. This book follows a young woman called Margot who has just gone off to college. It's told in various timelines, but let's say she's just gone off to college. Unfortunately, her childhood best friend has passed away and has been unable to join her. So Margot spends the entirety of her first year basically kind of grieving and dealing with her best friend's death and kind of mourning, I guess, until at the end of her first year she is about to move in with a friend called Maggie into an apartment, I guess. A student called Lucy invites Margot to come and live with them, her and her friends, in a house on the grounds of a fraternity house. Apparently rent is really cheap, it seems like a really good deal, and Margot has kind of been admiring Lucy from afar because she is very magnetic and charismatic. Margot ends up moving in with Lucy and her other friends. There's also a young woman called Sloane and a young woman called Nicole. Margot starts to get to know them, and then the book skips to present day. We find out that Lucy is now missing and is being investigated because one of the fraternity boys who live in the fraternity house has been murdered and the police want to talk to her about it. That's all I'm going to say about the plot because obviously it's twisty, there's a lot of stuff going on. The only other thing you probably really need to know is that it's told in various timelines and it's not necessarily like a straight timeline, you're sort of jumping back and forth. So my thoughts on the book. I really liked this one. I thought it was a very good book. I always enjoy Stacy Willingham's thrillers and this one is no different. I'm having a lot of trouble choosing a favourite of mine because I was so close to giving this one 5 stars, which is really impressive. I don't really do that for thriller books very often, but I am so pleased that I was almost able to for this book. I didn't in the end, but almost. This one entirely hooked me. I read it in less than 24 hours. I read it in 2 sittings. I only took a break to sleep. I was forced to put it down because I had work the following day and I just had to, go to sleep. I was able to read it in like one long stretch, which I really enjoyed. It was definitely the way to go with this one so that I didn't forget what was going on. There are a lot of moving parts and a lot of different characters because you've kind of got Margot and her friends and family back home, and then you've got the friendship group that she joins, Lucy's friendship group. You've got various characters that she's met in her first year of college, not very many to be fair, but she's got Maggie. And then there are also the boys in the fraternity house as well. So there's a lot going on. So I'm really glad that I read this in kind of one go because otherwise I think I would have forgotten a lot of character names because I have already forgotten a lot of them and that does tend to happen to me. I don't think the plot itself is super unique, but I did find it quite fun nonetheless. Well, I found it very fun obviously because I carried on reading it, and I think the characters were the main draw for me. So like I said, Lucy is very magnetic and she's definitely not the main character. You don't get a point of view from her, but Margot is like obsessed with her and she can't figure out why. She doesn't know why she wants to be friends with her so much. It becomes apparent very early on that it's because Lucy is very manipulative. It's her goal basically to get these people to be drawn to her so that she can get what she wants. I always really enjoy reading about messy friendships, particularly ones in college, and that's what this is. Margot has a difficult relationship with the friend who is dead, Eliza. Obviously she's dead, so she's not an active character in the book, but you do get flashbacks to Eliza and you see her connection with Margot and how Margot was leading up to Eliza's death and how Eliza's death then affected Margot. So you've got that friendship there, which is very complicated and tricky. And then you've also got the friendship with Lucy, which is kind of like, is she manipulating her? Is Lucy even friends with Margot really? And then you've got Sloane and Nicole, who were friends with Lucy first, but it's like, are they really friends with Lucy? Because maybe she's manipulating them in the exact same way that she has Margot. So it's all very kind of intricate and everyone is connected in some way, which I really enjoyed, and it's just really messy. The girls' relationship with the boys, I feel a bit weird calling them girls and boys because they're adults, but they're still very young. They're all in college, so they'd be what, like 19, 20? I really enjoyed reading the relationship between all of them. As soon as someone else joined the friendship group or joined the group, the dynamic sort of changes a little bit and you sort of start to see things shift, which I really liked. I also really liked there was a little bit of rich people drama between all of them, and I always like that in my books, and particularly in this one. I also really enjoy a good college setting because I feel like a lot can happen in college. You've got the sort of young, no rules kind of thing because the characters are all away from their parents. They think that they're mature, but they're clearly not. And then you've also got the sort of potential for a more darker and adult side of a thriller. So I did really enjoy that part. And this kind of story also wouldn't have worked in any other setting. And I was reading the author's note and she said that she based this kind of setting on what she experienced in college. There was no like murder there or anything, but I think she was basing the creepy house along with the messy friendships on her own college experience, so she really drew from that, and I thought that was really good. In terms of the twist, because everyone always wants to know about the twists and the mystery of thrillers, obviously, and if it's any good, I had a lot of theories. One of them was like really out there. I ended up wondering if a character was even real. I'm not going to say who. I thought they might have been maybe a figment of Margot's imagination due to her trauma, and I had a lot of theories, but that was definitely my most out there. I love books that make me kind of think outside the box and wonder if things are real. I'm not too bothered about the whole like this was all a dream or she made all this up in her head trope. I feel like I've had like a gap between reading those kinds of thrillers now, and if it did appear in one of my thrillers, then I would be cool with it. Not that I'm saying that this is what happens in this book, I'm just, you know, telling you my thought process in regards to the twist. For the twist itself, I am not necessarily too keen on the whole backstory part, and especially when you find out what happened to Eliza, because the whole of the flashback side of the book is basically leading up to, I guess, the night of Eliza's death. And you know from the beginning that the main character Margot is holding something back. She knows something that she's not sharing with the reader, or all of the characters are really. So you find out little bits and pieces. And I didn't love the reveal relating to Eliza. I'm kind of over that sort of twist or trope. I just didn't love it, and that's all I really want to say, because otherwise I'm going to get into spoiler territory. I did quite enjoy the build-up and the twistiness of the main storyline in the present day. I really enjoyed the build-up because you sort of see Margot being obsessed with Lucy and completely drawn to her, and then you start to see things start to shift, and then when Lucy is missing in the beginning of the book, you're kind of like, well, what has led up to this point? Why is Lucy missing, and why are these characters acting a little bit off? Not necessarily Margot, but the others. So you're really trying to figure out what has gone on in between the past flashbacks and the present day with Lucy missing and the guy dead. I think Stacy Willingham handled it really well. I think she does twists really well generally. Actually, I really liked Flicker in the Dark as well. I've done a review for that on my channel. I don't think I've reviewed her other book. I think that was called like All the Twisted Lies or something. I'll put the cover up here. I can do a review on that, but I will probably need to reread the book because I've left it too long. But yeah, my point is I really enjoy Stacy Willingham's thrillery twists, and again, I think she did a really good job here. I think as a character-driven reader, as I have recently found out that I am, this is a really good one because you've got the messy character relationships and also the messy characters themselves as well. Even if they weren't interacting with anyone, they would also be super, super messy, which I love, apparently. That's why I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving Only If You're Lucky 4 stars. I think parts of it were a little bit unbelievable, and like I said, I didn't really love the resolution or the reveal in the past timeline, but I loved the college setting. I loved all of the complicated relationships. Loved Nicole, by the way, as a side character. I don't really want to say anything about her at all, but Sloane and Nicole were kind of the MVPs of the entire thing. Oh, I should probably mention Margot as a main character. Like, she's your average thriller main character. I didn't really care either way. I will probably forget mostly about her. To be honest, the side characters were much more interesting. Yeah, 4 stars for this one. Enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. So I'm really glad that I was able to read it on release day, and I hope you guys enjoy it if you do end up picking it up. Thank you so much for watching my review. I've got a lot of other reviews on my channel, and I'm trying to do more this year, at least 23 of them. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with another one. Bye!